What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. The markets finished up slightly higher than they did yesterday, but overall they were pretty flat, and we are 1 day away from the elections. The markets are definitely acting pretty weird, and when I say that, just very choppy. We can see that we opened up pretty high this morning, and we fell a little bit throughout the day, and then we just ended up coming back higher during the day. So it was pretty choppy all day long, but this is basically what you have to expect ahead of a very influential election. So in today's video, we're going to be going over some important news that came out today with Walmart, PayPal's earnings, and just some overall general market news and all of the plays that we're watching for the rest of the week. And at the end of the video, we have a $15.4 million call option that we are eyeing for the rest of the week. So with that being said, if you guys aren't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe to see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage every single day. But let's get right into it, Tom.
Yeah, the Dow fell more than 400 points today to start November as the U.S. election looms. And we all know that the election is tomorrow, and the markets will more than likely be extremely volatile like they have been the past couple of days. And I just wanted to reiterate to everybody to take caution right now and to make sure that you're really managing risk right now more than ever. It's just a really hard time in the market. You don't know which way it's going to go. And like a lot of traders were actually betting on the market to go down today, but the market ended up being flat to slightly up. And we can see that the Dow futures at the end of the day really started turning back to the upside. And if we see the Dow head up through the election, that's actually pretty good for the market. I mean, I'm not saying that it's good for traders because a lot of people are betting for it to go down, but that's why right now it's a very risky time, and almost any trade you do is a gamble, and you can't really pick a direction right now. And that's why I just really wanted to reiterate to really take caution.
Awesome. So what news happened in the market today?
Yeah, Walmart, they actually canceled a contract with a robotics company, or the contract just ended, but Walmart cut ties with Boss, I believe, Nova Robotics, which made robots that scan shelves for inventory, according to the Wall Street Journal. And this isn't really going to hurt Walmart too bad, but it's really interesting to see that Walmart is actually cutting these robots and going back towards human labor rather than, using these robots, because a lot of people were saying that these companies like Walmart would eventually just roll out these robots and have them come in for the long term. But it looks like that Walmart is taking the robots away and going back to human labor. And that just must be because they haven't advanced robots enough yet to obviously get the job done in a manageable fashion, especially with people walking around the store and stuff. But, it's just interesting because tech has come a long way, and a lot of people have talked about a lot of jobs being lost due to robotics.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like this is like crazy news. It's just interesting, like you said. Walmart didn't really react too much off of the news, but Walmart still finished up today about 1.2%, but it's just interesting.
Yeah, PayPal actually had the big news that came out in after hours, and they beat on earnings, but they actually went down. And PayPal ended up with a 1.07 EPS versus a 0.94 estimate. And that's pretty good. They beat earnings, but as we can see, they've been very volatile in after hours, pretty much going up and down multiple times, but they're ending up now at 176, which is over 10 points lower than what they closed at today, which is terrible for PayPal. And the revenue for the quarter climbed to 5.46 billion from 4.38 billion, while analysts forecasted 5.42 billion. So they actually beat expectations slightly, but not too much. And this is the second best quarterly result as far as new active total growth with their merchants. They grew 1.5 million merchants over the quarter and 15.2 million new active accounts. So it's kind of a weird statistic. Net new active total was their second best quarterly result behind last quarter. So I'm really surprised to see PayPal down, but the market has been doing this a lot lately, and it almost seems like that if we have good earnings, bet on the stock to go down, and if it has bad earnings, bet on it to go up.
That's been the story of the market for the past couple weeks. Stocks report great earnings. I mean, PayPal had good earnings. It wasn't like fantastic, but it was good earnings. And we saw the stock fall, and we're seeing that with a lot of companies recently. I mean, some companies are an exception to that, like Snapchat, but for the most part, companies report great earnings and then they fall. So That's interesting to see, but that's just how the market is right now. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty, and stocks just aren't flying like we saw them fly a quarter or even 2 quarters ago.
Yeah, for sure. And then another one even reported in after hours, which was AMC movie theaters. And yeah, so AMC, they actually were reported by Seeking Alpha in after hours today. And Seeking Alpha reported that they're up 2.3% in after hours. And we can see that they're up very slightly on this 1 minute chart. And it's a very low price stock. So small movements equate to large percentages, at least, as far as you can equate it. And that's just how the stocks go whenever they get this low in price. And that's why they're risky. But revenues fell nearly 91% to $119.5 million, with U.S. theater operations suspended for nearly 2/3 of the quarter, and moviegoers looking reluctant to return to open theaters. Attendance was down 92.5% to 6.5 million people going through the theater. U.S. markets attendance fell 96.8%. So people are really just not going to the movie theater right now. And obviously, these big giants like Netflix and Disney Plus right now, and even Google with YouTube are really overtaking the movie theater market. And people just don't want to go to the theater anymore, especially with COVID.
I mean, AMC has been downtrending for the past couple of years now, but I think COVID is really putting the nail in the coffin. They were struggling to begin with, but COVID, they had to shut down their theaters. But also, we're just seeing like a cultural shift into just like watching movies online in your own home, like you mentioned, Netflix, Disney, YouTube, and even like Roku. Like, there's just I just think we're seeing like a cultural shift away from traditionally like the traditional movie theater setting, or is that just me?
Yeah, and it also reminds me, I said this earlier in Discord, is that it really reminds me of the like whenever Blockbuster went out of business. Everybody would go to Blockbuster to grab a couple movies and some popcorn and candy and go home and watch your movie and then bring it back to the store the next day and drop it off. And that scene really got halted by Redbox, Netflix, and all these companies. And it seems like now with COVID and everything, the movie theaters are also getting overtaken by that. And it really reminds me of Blockbuster. Everyone's has those imaginations or those memories of going there, and soon I think people are going to say, wow, do you remember going to the movie theaters 15 years ago?
Right. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting perspective. So now let's get into our Discord member of the day. And today's member of the day is Madi, and he made a nice post in the Profits channel. He had about $100 profit on NIO this morning. He said, quick hundo and out for the day. So I think that's the best type of strategy to use in the market for the past couple weeks, because it's been so choppy and so volatile. So a huge shout out to Madi for having the discipline to make your money and then just stop trading for the day. I know a lot of traders struggle with over trading and trying to catch every single little move in the market, and ultimately it just leads to losses. So great job with the discipline there. And if you guys aren't in the Discord chat yet, Tom and I post free day trades every single morning, 15 minutes before open. They're completely free. We give our analysis for free. And if you guys want to join and network with 10,000 other members in our chat, it's completely free. And it's the first link in the description down below. So if you guys aren't already in the Discord, don't forget to join. So now let's get into our momentum plays for tomorrow. And the first one is JP Morgan to the upside.
Yeah, make JP Morgan pop above 101.
Awesome. With the next play, we have Boeing.
Boeing, make them hit 149.60 or higher.
All right. And then we have TLRY.
Tilray, I haven't heard about this one for a while. This is the marijuana stock, right?
Yeah, marijuana stocks are actually popping off today. We see ACB up a good amount. What's that other one?
CGC.
Oh, yeah, CGC was up big, and then CRON, too.
Yeah, see it, Kronos. Yeah, the big ones. Yeah, I really like it. Make TLRY pop above 6.75. And this stock could really run given how much these marijuana stocks move whenever, they do end up popping. But just keep in mind that they are normally pretty risky.
Yep, and then we have Twitter to the downside.
TWTR. Wow, yeah, this one's down. Make them fall below 38.90.
Awesome. So we are eyeing all these stocks to the upside except Twitter, which is to the downside. And for Twitter, I mean, I've noticed a trend recently with some of these bad earnings plays. You look at Intel, right? They reported earnings, and they had like probably like 4 or 5 solid red days after earnings. You look at IBM, they had almost a week and a half worth of solid red days after earnings. So I just have my eyes on Twitter to see if they're going to have that same type of movement after earnings. I mean, the setups look. I know Twitter and IBM and Intel aren't the same company, but I just noticed like that type of trend in the market recently with stocks that report bad earnings. So I'm eyeing Twitter.
Yeah, and in the past, you can see Twitter's actually gapped down kind of like they did right here. And you can see that then over the next few months or even the next year, they ended up just consolidating and slightly, working their way back up.
True. So now let's get into our unusual options activity for tomorrow. And we are looking at the NIO 35 strike call options that expire this Friday, November 6th. So looking at NIO, right? They were up, they finished about 9% up today, but they actually kind of fell at open. They had a little run up at open, but basically they ran up, they opened up high and kind of fell over. So looking at NIO, they hit highs today at around $35. And seeing we are looking at the 35 strike call options, I mean, especially going into elections, I can definitely see the smart money shorting these options. And NIO is at $33.30 right now. So they're about $1.70 out of the money. They're the weekly contracts, and the premiums are so inflated on them. I mean, I really see the smart money shorting these options.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I just can't see NIO running anymore. But I mean, just like we saw with Tesla, it's possible that they could keep running, but it's just one of those things that I really, I'd really look for them to start falling, especially with the election coming up. And you just never know. And I really think that with that much money going into 35 calls, I would definitely think that they're shorting them. But it's just one of those things that, just like with Tesla, like they might know some insider information or something, and the stock might shoot up 10% tomorrow.
True. Yep. Anything's possible. So now the comments from the previous episode, and we have Eric saying, "What are your thoughts on Square? Thanks for the info." So, Tom, what are you thinking on Square?
Yeah, I really was liking Square to the upside, and I actually have a really long-term trend line on Square, and they recently popped right below it, and it looks like they're starting to trend downwards now. And this is typical of a lot of these tech stocks that have really overextended with the virus, and you can see Square really overextended. It was almost like Zoom or some of these other companies that really went over their highs, and I could really see them coming back at least maybe down to 140, maybe 145 levels just to be safe, at least down to the 100 SMA. But I really think that with that long-term trend with it popping below, it looks really nice, at least for puts to the downside, at least in the short term.
Awesome. And then we had Piper saying, great video. So thank you so much, Piper, for leaving a comment. It really helps grow our channel, and we really appreciate it. With the next comment, we have Jeff saying, I'll probably just sit on the sideline tomorrow until I get a good grip if the free fall will continue. My Boeing and Baba puts printed last Friday. So, Tom, what are you seeing with Boeing and Baba?
Boeing actually looks like it might actually start coming back up over the course of this week. But with the election, anything can happen. Boeing was really up today because the market was up, and I'm not saying Boeing follows the market all the time. They're obviously not correlated, but it's just one of those things where if the market's up, Boeing's generally up. So I could see if the market goes down with the election, Boeing will go down as well. But Baba is something a little different. I would think that Baba has a better shot to actually maybe pop back up. It looks like they were pretty green today at the end of the day, and they're a stock similar to Amazon, so that's the only reason I'd be more scared of Baba puts.
Gotcha. Yep. Anything can happen in this crazy volatile market, and we have the election this week. So
yeah, hopefully he took profit. He said they were printing for him. So.
Yeah, true. Do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for the rest of this week?
Yeah, the last thing is that CNBC reports that Apple TV will be available on the new Xbox and PlayStation consoles for the first time. And this is really interesting. Sony is coming out with a new PlayStation 5, and it will be released in around 10 days. And if you could get your hands on a pre-order, you'll get one, that is. And Sony definitely did a great job with the PS5 as they sold out everywhere instantly whenever they launched with pre-orders. And Sony's actually right around all-time highs right now, which is awesome. But some stocks that could be affected by this are GameStop, which is GME, Amazon, which is AMZN, Sony, which is SNE, obviously, Walmart, WMT, and possibly BB, which is Best Buy. All these retailers that really sell the PS5, they might get a lot of money right now because the PS5 is going to be pretty valuable whenever it gets released. And I think you're going to see an instance where a lot of people who pre-ordered this are going to be able to sell it significantly over market value whenever it drops, because Sony's actually having problems making the PS5 and getting enough out to people in time. And apparently there's significant delays and all this stuff. And it just seems like there's a lot of hype around the PS5. But with all that hype could come a possible crash after the PS5. So just be careful. But it's just one of those cool instances where we might actually see some cool stuff coming with the PS5.
Yeah, great insight there. Just wanted to make a quick correction. I know you said BB was Best Buy, but Best Buy is BBY. BB is BlackBerry.
Yeah, BBY. Yeah, we just talked about that actually. It's BBY. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yep, so BBY is Best Buy. And yeah, cool information. And SNE is doing pretty solid right now. They actually were up about 2.2% today. And Sony is who makes the PS5, obviously. But it's great for the company. And I just know from talking with people that there's a lot of hype around this PS5. I mean, you could see all the memes on social media. And like, even if you just like talk with some of your friends, like there's actually hype around the product. So I think that's great for Sony and should just be great overall for the company. So
yeah, and I think that a cool strategy that they did was the fact that they made it very hard to get. I think that that might have been a strategy by them to make it even more valuable, because obviously people want what they can't have, right? So
true,
it's
right.
just one of those things, like a very cool strategy, I think.
Right. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. And seriously, if you guys aren't in our Discord chat already, consider joining. It's completely free. You can network with 10,000 other traders in there. And Tom and I post completely free day trades every single morning, 15 minutes before open. And like I said, it's completely free, and you can join by clicking the first link in the description down below. And if you guys want to try out the options day trading bot, you can click the StockedUp options alerts link in the description down below. And if you guys have any questions, like I said, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.